President Jay Rothman and Amy Bogos, the president of the Board of Regents, appointed a 14-member search and screen committee yesterday to help find the next chancellor at UW-Oshkosh. Last month, UWO Chancellor Andrew Levitt announced that he is resigning from his position. His last day will be June 30th, 2025. The search committee will work to identify possible candidates for that position. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
The Packers missing some players. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Green Bay Packers host the 49ers at Lambeau Field, but head coach Matt LaFleur says they'll likely be without two of their best defensive starters. Cornerback Jair Alexander has a torn PCL, suffered 3 weeks ago in Jacksonville. Then at Wednesday's practice, rookie linebacker Edgerrin Cooper pulled a hamstring.
Did not practice were Jair and Edgerrin Cooper.
Any concern about Sunday for him?
Yes.
Kickoff at 3:25. College football, Wisconsin heads to Nebraska to play the Cornhuskers at Memorial Stadium. Game time tomorrow, 2:30. Nebraska 1.5-point favorites. NBA, it's the Bucks and the Pacers tonight in Milwaukee.
Okay, we have an incredible team coming in. Indiana beat us, I think, 4 or 5 times last year. No, actually, no. Way more. 7 times, 7, 8 times. We got to play defense. We got to move the ball. They want to play fast. We got to sprint back. We got to take guys serious. But we're trending towards the right direction right now, so I'm happy.
That's Giannis Antetokounmpo with sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight to low in the low 30s. For tomorrow, early clouds give way to partial sunshine in the afternoon and a high in the low 40s. Mostly cloudy and a high in the mid-40s on Sunday. A chance of rain as we look into Monday. It's 46 right now.
The Todd Alba Show.
Tracy Olson, senior advisor at the Lincoln Project.
We as individuals need to be far better in terms of getting the tools we need to have the conversations. You're never going to shame someone out of their political beliefs.
Yes.
You're never going to get them with talking points.
You nailed it. And I think that's what some of our friends on the left don't get. And I think it's destructive and it's not beneficial.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Dom Salvia Show.
State Senator-elect Jody Habish-Sinekin, what's the best way do you think it is to approach a difference in not just opinion, but in what we perceive as facts with those that may not be aware or don't agree with it?
First, having a conversation. Try to get an understanding of what is really bothering them and try to offer solutions at the state level or at the local level where there can be progress.
The Dom Salvia Show. Weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app. John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
On Monday's show, Brittany Merlot is back from vacation. We'll find out what she did for fun during her time off. And Mary Rohde from On Broadway will join us to talk about...
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy whose house has an actual wiggle room, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Night Light, everybody. It is Friday night in the great state of Wisconsin, and it is great to have you with me tonight. We have a great show planned for this evening. Conrad is riding shotgun, ready to take your calls and texts. We've got so much to get to. We've got 3 guests. This is the weekend before Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a fun weekend. It kicks off the entire holiday season. It's just, it's a great weekend. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Even better that I found out that Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa aren't playing this week against the Packers.
Really? You go right to the Packers in the first minute of the show. You've already got Packers on the brain.
It's all I can think about.
That's all you can think about anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's up with Brock Purdy? Let's get this out of the way so Packer fans can rest easy. What's happening?
Well, all right. So if you don't, who his backup is? His backup is Brandon.
I barely
Allen.
know who Brock Purdy is. So I don't know.
Is he still Mr. Irrelevant to you?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, he's pretty good. He's turned out to be a pretty good player, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it better that he has a really good offense.
Right. And a good coach.
Yes. But yeah, he's out with a shoulder injury.
Okay. He's got a shoulder.
Yeah. Brandon Allen, if you know who that is. I did not.
Listen, knowing the San Francisco 49ers luck with quarterbacks, he will probably be the next Tom Brady, this guy.
Yeah.
And then they'll trade Purdy for a number 1 pick. They're the luckiest franchise. They gave up, I think, 3 number 1 picks for Trey Lance. He ends up sucking like in the first 5 games, and he goes down with an injury. And somehow they back into this Pro Bowl quarterback in Brock Purdy after mortgaging their future. I have no sympathy for the San Francisco 49ers.
No,
none
definitely
whatsoever.
not.
So so Bosa's out too. That helps, right?
Yeah, that really helps. We have 2 defensive players out this week, but I'm more okay with it. Them getting, the recovery time because I don't know how Brandon Allen's going to play. So I'm okay with them being hurt this week. And
wait, when you say you don't know if he's going to play, meaning if he'll be good or if he'll actually get in the game? I thought he was playing.
No, I'm saying I don't know how he's going to play.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Well, and they're coming to Lambeau. That's always good for the warmer weather teams, although San Francisco's not that warm, but it's got to be an advantage too. So
yeah.
Once again, your Packers catch a break. I'm very happy for you. Hey, what did you think? All right, let's just go back, revisit, then we'll put this to bed. The Packer-Bear game, the field goal. I don't know if a ruling has come down yet, but the leverage thing, the Bears challenged it, sent it into the league office. What did you see? Like, as a fan, try to be unbiased. Was there leverage there? Like, I feel like there might have been a little bit, but it's sort of like a pass interference call where you kind of, it's like incidental contact. You know what I mean?
With I'm not too familiar with leverage because you don't see it that much in the NFL. Right. But I'm pretty sure it's like if you touch the helmet of the long snapper or something like that.
Yes.
And I'll say it looked like incidental contact maybe.
Okay.
But, I think last week that the Chiefs kind of did the same thing or something like that. I don't know.
Did you called for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean,
all right.
I think, they should send it in like that to make these refs more aware of it because it doesn't happen in a lot. So I think it's a good thing that they sent it.
It's a pretty diplomatic answer. I'll accept it. Yeah, I agree with you. Make them do their job. Keep them honest. Keep them out of the playoffs if they're bad officials. But
yes.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you have to have the best officiating possible during the playoffs. All right. We have put to bed. All right. The Packers have an advantage going into the weekend, going into the weekend before Thanksgiving. Yes. So that's good for you, Packer fans. I'm happy for you guys. But it's not a guarantee. Like I said, this guy could come in and be the best quarterback since sliced bread. I just said spliced bread. I used a film term,
like you called me Karen today.
Listen, Todd is the worst. His voice to text messages. I get a message from him. It's like 18 years ago. Good luck on your show tonight. Here's a pair of old socks. What? So you at least knew who I was talking about because there was a K in a voice.
It was funny though.
Yeah. All right. So we got a great show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Young filmmaker. Actually, I don't know how young he is. I thought Daniel Wheeler was young when we had him on the show last week, and then he showed up and he's probably in his 50s, but his like Facebook picture, he looked like he just graduated college. I don't know how he pulled that off, but Cole Sheldon is a Wisconsin-based and more specifically a Sheboygan-based filmmaker. He's on the show tonight. We're going to talk about a film he did called Sparkplug, and he's got a new film coming out too. And this is Cole's first time on the show. I like to familiarize myself with local filmmakers because there's so many of them and there's so many talented ones. And eventually one of them is going to hit it big and then they'll always come back to Nightlight. So there you go. So Cole's on the show at 6:35. Looking forward to that. Lisa Hale drops by at 7:05. Lisa covers news for Northeast Wisconsin and is the host of New Wisco Weekend here on WGBW and WISS every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's a great show, kind of a news magazine show. She keeps you up to date with what's happening in Northeast Wisconsin, stories of interest, people of interest. So Lisa will be along at 7:05 to give us a preview. and we'll talk to her a little bit about what she's watching when it comes to color television. And then Terry BARR. It is a BARR band Friday night, Conrad. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. I look forward to it every Friday.
Every Friday. Terry brings great music. She's going to be here at 7:35 tonight with, did you hear the songs? I really liked them.
Yeah, the second one, I wasn't expecting some of those lyrics, but I think it's great still.
I agree. I was like, I love that she brings two artists now every week. It's so much fun. So Terry will be along at 7:35. Terry hosts Max Inc. Radio here on the network Saturday nights from 6 p.m. to midnight. Check it out if you haven't yet. It's a great show, great music, and great discussion about music. This is exciting. This, as far as days of the year go, we follow the days of the year calendar. This week has been National Educators Week or National Education Week? I got to scroll back here. Yeah, it's American Education Week. So we haven't touched on this yet. My wife is a teacher. I know a lot of teachers. I'm sure everybody knows a lot of teachers. So, Conrad, are you ready for our question of the night?
Here we go.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
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 Pregunta. Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question. Questions.
Always wanted to say it like that. Question. Our question tonight, ladies and gentlemen, who is or was your favorite teacher in honor of National Education Week? You can share a name going back to kindergarten, high school, college. If you're in adult education right now, you can share the name of your favorite teacher. Let's celebrate teachers a little bit. They spark creative juices in all of us. I've had some phenomenal teachers. I was an English major in college, and I had some great teachers. I had great teachers in high school. My first grade teacher, Mrs. Keene, I still kind of have a crush on. First grade, Conrad, that's pretty early. That's my first crush, I think.
So she's got to be what? Up there now, huh?
She's probably looking at low 70s, maybe. But maybe her marriage didn't work out. I don't know. I might still have a chance. I hope she is wonderful wherever she is, because she was just such a phenomenal teacher. And that's who I'll say. I could say a host of teachers. My kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Patterson at Portage Park Elementary School in Chicago, was a character. I had great teachers at Marinette Catholic Central High School here in Marinette, and I had great college professors too. So, but give me a name. And if you want to share why they were such a great teacher, that would be fantastic too. Let's go positive with teachers tonight. Let's celebrate this profession that, frankly, and I can just say this because of my experiences with my wife, their benefits. It used to be when you were a teacher, you had summers off and good benefits, knowing you weren't going to make a ton of money, and they cap you off at a certain amount. But now they don't even have the benefits anymore. And there are still people going into the teaching industry. They know they're not going to get rich. They know the benefits aren't even that great anymore. And they still want to become teachers. That says a lot about a person to me. And I love teachers. And I'm not just saying that because my wife is one. But our question of the night, who is your favorite teacher? And share why if you want, or you could just share a name. Either way, let's celebrate people who educate us and our kids. Conrad, do you have a favorite teacher?
Yeah, I got two, actually. I have one that was my high school science teacher.
Okay.
He just had really fun ways of teaching, and it kept me engaged because I wasn't a big fan of the sciences.
Really?
And, well, I mean, my favorite was gym, so in high school. So.
The physical education sciences.
I mean, he would go on top of his desk and try to teach. It was he was
pulled like a Dead Poets Society.
I guess, yeah, kind of.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he was a fun teacher. And then I'd say my first professor in college, when I was my first business class, I didn't. They tell you in high school oh, you're gonna have to know this or whatever, to be prepared for college.
Sure.
He kind of immediately just threw all that stuff out the window.
So you weren't prepared. You weren't prepared for college. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, it didn't. I felt like I was more I was worried about what teachers would say before, but he would swear every 5 seconds, and I just thought it was funny.
Isn't that crazy? And
I love
teachers that just had the guts to do that, and we're I don't care. And they win you over immediately. And
Yeah.
a lot of time, it's not just for shock. It's like, hey, this is what I really feel. This is who I am. I want you to know me. Now listen to me.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh.
So what was that guy's name?
I don't even remember.
I didn't like him that much, Pete.
I had so many professors, it's hard to remember the names, but I remember the experience of being in his class.
I remember that too. I had a professor at DePaul University who was a priest, and here I am making fun of you. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head, but he said the word dude all the time, and he wore turtlenecks, and he had like Birkenstocks on. Like, he was not your typical priest. And he was so much fun too. I had great philosophy professors.
Yeah.
A great teacher is just someone who makes you think and question things and think critically. And that's what we're talking about here tonight, folks. That is our question of the night. Who is your favorite teacher? And if you are so inclined, please tell us why at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Great show tonight. We're going to read your text when we come back. We're going to talk about a movie Conrad saw from one of our guests the other night. That'll be fun. And then we got a whole bunch of fun guests to get to tonight. You're here on a great night, and it's great to have you. This is a Friday night edition of Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
7.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
From the Lakeshore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app. The Maggie Dawn Show.
Iron Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, the YouTuber. They're likely, this is just me wildly speculating, might have been a wee bit of a gentleman's agreement. Try to make it look good, but nobody's actually going to try to knock anybody out.
I actually put a bet on that, and I bet it for Jake Paul to win, just because I knew it was staged. Mike Tyson was going to do what he's going to do. Clearly obvious he could have knocked him out. He just didn't want to do it.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find
So Jim from Appleton says, Warren Shutnick, my favorite teacher. He was my high school current cultural anthropology teacher. Wow, that's a mouthful. And gave everyone in the class time to talk, learn, and grow. That's a great text, Jim. Thank you. And it's a great name for a teacher, too. Warren Shutnick. I'm sure he took a little bit of abuse because of his name. You know how high school kids can be. Not that I would ever do something like that. And then Llama from Madison says, Mrs. Stewart, she helped behavior problem kids and used clown training to motivate us. She loved dill pickles. I love that. I had when I was in Catholic school in Chicago, I had a teacher who told an entire class of fourth graders she used to keep a $5 bill in her bra just in case. And then said they'd have to be pretty fresh to get in there. Like and it was like right out of The Simpsons or Family Guy or something. Every kid was just like wide-eyed, like, sure, we're supposed to be hearing this. I'm not sure you can say bra in a public school or in a Catholic school, but she was a riot. That's a really good one. I love it. And she loved dill pickles. It's so funny, those things we remember too, these little idiosyncrasies about people who affected us. Keith from the 480 says, third grade. I hope I'm saying this right, Keith. Fraulein Magrar. I don't know if that's the name of the school or the teacher in Amory, Wisconsin. But that was Keith's favorite teacher. And then Keith says 1974. And then from the 740, Mrs. Starkey for first grade at East Elementary. Den mother, too. My dumb 7-year-old ass didn't even realize she was pregnant until she disappeared for 2 months. Keith, how are you supposed to know that? I'm sorry, that's not Keith. That's 740. How, honestly, as a kid, how are you supposed to know that? Don't beat yourself up for that, buddy. He says Cub Scouts for the den mother thing. I had a den mother, Mrs. Hoffman, loved her. Except it was kind of funny. Her husband, like, worked nights, I think, like in a foundry on the northwest side of Chicago or something. And he would just come out of the bedroom in his underpants and go to the bathroom and then go back to bed. And I'm just like you'd never do that nowadays. But back then, it was just like what people did, you know? It's like wearing a bathing suit. No big deal. Jameson from the 814 says, Sam Beitelman, English and Journalism. Freshman year final was to choose a controversial topic you felt passionate about. Then he made us write the final advocating for the other side. To truly make an argument, the best way is to fully understand the reasons others disagree. Wow, that is very well said, Jameson. And that's the sign of a great teacher. I agree. Teach kids to think critically. He gave us wisdom and so many skills I use 30 years later. Wonderful educator. Well, he raised an outstanding texter, Jameson. So thank you very much for that. And thank you, Sam Beitelman. From the 818, Bridget says, Mrs. Evans, my third grade teacher. She used to accidentally call me by my older sister's name. She decided to put away a nickel every time she did that. At the end of the school year, she took me to a restaurant where all the teachers ate for lunch. I felt special. She made me feel important. I loved that school year. What a great story. That's outstanding. Thank you, Bridget. I wonder how many nickels that is, really. Wow, great text so far. Please, folks, feel free to share who your favorite teacher was and why. It's National Education Week, and we are celebrating teachers tonight. That is the question. And you can text us on the stream. You can use the app or just go old school on the text line at 855-752-4842. We got a lot of texts. We'll get to all of them. At 6:35, filmmaker Cole Sheldon will be here. He is a Sheboygan-based filmmaker. Not every filmmaker lives in New York or LA or even Chicago. So we've got plenty of really good filmmakers, especially here in Northeast Wisconsin. So Cole will be along at 6:35. At 7:05, Lisa Hale, the host of a New Wisco Weekend, will be here. And it's a bar band Friday night. So 7:35, we'll see Terry Bell joining us with some great new music. Great to have you with me on this Friday night. Conrad, this is kind of cool. Conrad went the extra mile the other night.
Yes.
We had a guest named Jared Crooks. He made a film called The Big Gift, and it was a independent film that Jared shot for less than $10,000. And I commented, and I said the trailer looked fantastic, that I couldn't wait to see the film. I could not believe what he was able to do just to cut together a really good trailer. It reminded me of Red One, the very big budget studio film with The Rock and Chris Evans. So after the interview, Conrad went home that night. And what did you do, Conrad?
Well, before I left the studio, I was like, all right, I got to watch this trailer. And the same thing. I was like, wow, this looks great. For an independent film, they had some great shots in that trailer. So I was like, all right, well, I got Tubi. Everyone's got Tubi. So I went home. Yeah, I watched it. And I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, I think, like I just said, great shots in that film.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it. You know, you don't know what to expect from independent film.
Correct.
And yeah, it was great fun. I really like the actors in it. The buff Santa was hilarious.
And there were fight scenes with Santa,
Yes.
right? Jared's character fights Santa Claus, gives him a roundhouse. Jared obviously has had some martial arts training in his life, and that looked really
fights
funny.
Elves too. Yeah. And it's all because he wants to put his name on the big gift because in the opening he loses his job, and the reason is hilarious. You got to watch it for why. And his son really wants, I forget what it's called, but it's a dinosaur that's $350.
Oh my gosh.
So he gets it. And he's like, Santa's not getting the credit this time. And Santa doesn't like that.
That's so great. It's a great premise.
Yes.
Vindictive, petty Santa who likes to fist fight people.
That's
awesome.
They're actually in a boxing ring. And I was like, this is already better than a Jake Paul fights.
Right. Less buffering. That's pretty cool. So overall, 4 stars, 3 stars?
Out of 5 stars, I give it 4.5.
Nice work, dude. Especially for the money, it sounds like. I love to see that. A guy who, all independent filmmakers have to be resourceful and do whatever they can to make the film look like it's a much bigger budget film. But it sounds like Jared crushed it. So I can't wait to check that out as well. I cannot see Glicked tonight because the local theater here does not have a showing past 7:30 of Gladiator.
Wow.
So I'm not going to cut out early on people and go see Gladiator 2 or Wicked. Means I'll have to squeeze both in this weekend somehow. All right, when we come back, speaking of filmmaking and independent filmmaking, Cole Sheldon joins us. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy. The company's finances have gotten worse after its merger with JetBlue fell through earlier this year. Spirit does not operate out of the Appleton International Airport or out of Austin Straubel in Green Bay, but it does fly out of Milwaukee. It has direct flights to Fort Lauderdale, Las Vegas, and Orlando. Executives say all Spirit tickets and perks are still valid while they go through the Chapter 11 process. 12 grants and 1 loan in rural communities across Wisconsin are giving a $24 million boost in funding courtesy of the United States Department of Agriculture. Wisconsin Rural Development Director Julie Lassa says the money comes from the Rural Energy for America program, which allows farmers and small businesses in rural communities to either install renewable energy systems or it can be used to help replace energy inefficient equipment. In Brown County, a $22 million loan will help Tinondale Project develop and operate a dairy manure anaerobic digester, which will capture biomethane and convert it to renewable natural gas. In Calumet County, a $91,000 grant will help install a small solar array in Sherwood. Since 2021, REAP has invested more than $66 million in projects in Wisconsin. Christopher Thompson, the former chief of the Lakewood Fire Department in Oconto County, faces 22 charges for allegedly stealing more than $110,000 from the department over the course of 3 years. According to a criminal complaint, Thompson was chief of the fire department and treasurer of the Lakewood Fire Department Association. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Glicked's weekend is here, and Wicked and Gladiator have high hopes for a box office splash. Wicked is expected to be the box office winner, with Universal Studios hoping for a $100 to $110 million opener. Paramount is hoping Gladiator 2 pulls in about $65 million, which would be a healthy start for a film that cost $250 million to make. Even those healthy estimates would have this twosome fall short of Barbenheimer's opening weekend, which pulled in $235 million a year and a half ago. Actress Rosemary DeWitt recently appeared on the Drew Barrymore show and said her husband, Ron Livingston, was so despised for his role as Jack Berger on Sex and the City that he couldn't even walk in New York City without rabid fans yelling and screaming at him. Ironically, when Livingston wanders through an office, he gets constant reminders about his TPS reports. Guy can't catch a break. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight to low in the low 30s. For tomorrow, early clouds give way to partial sunshine in the afternoon and a high in the low 40s. Mostly cloudy and a high in the mid 40s on Sunday. A chance of rain as we look into Monday. It's 46 right now.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for Watch and Tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
The Todd Alba Show.
Zommers, are you a Netflix and chill guy?
Do you know what Netflix and chill means?
I thought it just meant watch something on Netflix together.
You say that's what you're going to do, but you're really having them over there for sex.
This is why nobody wants to come to my place anymore. I say, hey, you want to come over and have Netflix and chill? People keep saying, well, no, I don't think so. I'll take it back. And I just thought they were being rude.
I do have Netflix, though.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays, noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, we will recap all the weekend's news, and we'll be joined by Dr. Kristen Lyerly in our
John in West Dallas comes to us on the text line and says, oh, you sound like a great Catholic. I'm a Jew. And then he just kind of trails off with an ellipses. So I think John and I are bonding over all the guilt our religions have brought us, I'm guessing. Good to hear from you, John. Good to hear from all of you. Keep those texts coming. Who is your favorite teacher and why? 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, or you can text us on the app or on the stream. However you are finding us, just find us and be part of the show. We love it. Coming up at 7:05, Lisa Hale. She is the host of New Wisco Weekend, and she's going to tell us what is on tap for this weekend on her really cool Northeast Wisconsin magazine show that you can check out here at WGBW and WISS on Saturdays and Sundays. And then, of course, it is a bar band Friday night. Terry Barr will be along at 7:35 with some fantastic music like she always is. Terry is so much fun to talk to, so stick around for that. Right now, we turn our attentions to local filmmakings. And one of our local filmmakers, who is a Wisconsin native and more specifically a Sheboygan native, Cole Sheldon, has a nice little string of credits he has built up in the independent film world. And he is making a name for himself, and he joins us now on Night Light. How you doing, Cole?
Good, Pete. How we doing?
Good. I swear to God, I've interviewed you at some point before, and you're saying no.
No. We met at the Wisconsin Film Festival. I do remember that.
Yes. Okay. But I did not interview. It was part of a Q&A, maybe?
I believe so.
Okay. All right.
So.
I was losing my mind. Either way, it's great to have you on the show, buddy. How you doing tonight?
Good. We're doing great. Staying busy, but it's a good busy. So,
all right. What is it like? You're in Sheboygan. When people think of a filmmaker or a writer director, they typically think LA, New York, Chicago. They don't realize there is a burgeoning film community here in Wisconsin. How difficult is it to do what you're doing from Sheboygan, if it is difficult at all?
it's tough. It's a hard road to get your stuff made out here. We could go down the rabbit hole on tax incentives and all that as well. There's a big push for that here, but it's difficult to get your things made here. And part of that is because there is such a blooming community of filmmakers here too. So there's not a lot of resources, and there's plenty of people who are making good quality stuff. So we're all kind of bumping shoulders trying to get our projects made. But it's difficult to get things off the ground once it's running, once you're rolling. It's just artists making art. At that point, you really don't have to worry about it. So as long as you can get yourself in a position to make something, It might
Sure.
not be a super large budget, but as long as you're out there creating, we're turning out some good stuff here.
So, what is the community like? Would you say, in your experience, Cole? Is it a very collaborative? Do people help each other out? Is it competitive? Do you find people that aren't as helpful, or do you find it to be a sort of a supportive community?
I think there's a little bit of both. Healthy competition is not necessarily a bad thing. Um, I always look at it when I see other people's work, and I'm a competitive person. I'm a sports guy. I was raised that way. I just use it as a stepping stone for raising my bar. I'm like, wow, okay, that was a great piece that XYZ filmmaker put out. I've really got to up my game on the next one. I'm going to look into some of the resources they use. Maybe I can pull some of those people over to my project. But in that same breath, in that competition, there is a lot of collaboration. Everybody's really willing to help everybody. There's a lot of, and it's a blooming community, but it's small, so you get to know people really quickly. And as long as you're willing to put in the work and help lift up other people, everybody's down to help you out as well.
All right. So you said you have sports in your background, and I think I even saw skateboarding in your
Mhm.
bio. What led you to filmmaking? I mean, what in your past did you have a moment where you said, "I'm going to be a filmmaker"? I saw this; it was inspiring, or I have this idea, I have to get it made. What was it for you that made you go down this path?
So I look back, and there are plenty of films that I look back on now, and they've imprinted on my style of storytelling and the way that I approach making movies. A lot of the family fantasies of the '90s, anything from Chris Columbus, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas. A pretty generic answer for somebody my age, but um, I never saw filmmaking as an option. I never saw it as a path to a career. I never even thought of it as, it was so distant. It was LA, like you were saying. It just felt like this fantasy world that nobody ever touched. I originally was going to school with a botany focus. So I wanted to be an environmental landscaper.
Mm.
And then I failed my first college botany class and quickly had to kind of reevaluate where I was going with my life. And I sat down and I thought, like, what do I really enjoy? I'm a sports guy. I like football. I like hockey. I like all these other sports. And skateboarding. I had a crew of people that I was friends with, and they were all getting really good, and I wasn't getting any better. So I had to find a way to stick with the crew, and kind of became the de facto film guy. And I thought at that point, maybe I could marry those two. Maybe I could take the love of making video, which was really fun and it was a great hobby. I thought maybe I'd go work for ESPN, or shoot Packer games and work for CBS or Fox or whoever it is. When I found a school and started really diving deep into that, I realized that kind of work really wasn't for me. I wouldn't have enjoyed that. I liked storytelling. Then I look back on some of those old skate videos, and they had a narrative to them. And um, I've always been a talker and a storyteller, and it just once it finally clicked for me, it all really made sense that telling stories one way or the other is the way that I should be going.
That's great. You said our question tonight is, do you have a favorite teacher or someone who inspired you? Did you find someone along the way that kind of gave you the confidence to pursue what you wanted to do?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I can link back to every single professor I had at Madison Media Institute: Nella Satino, Ray Ibsen, Will Nimmo. There's so many that I'm forgetting. Josh Ose, Nancy Stillwell. There's
Wow.
an amazing group of people there that they were all working professionals, and chose to teach on top of their work life, and built a really um, solid class of people that they were pushing out into the industry. And they were all so good at stoking the flames for each one of us, whether you wanted to go the film route, whether you wanted to do sports videography, whether you wanted to be a camera guy at your local news station. They knew how to put you on the path to success, and really set you up to succeed come graduation.
So in your bio, I saw the film Sparkplug as one of your credits, Cole. I know I've heard of that somewhere, maybe at a festival or something. Where would I've seen that at the Wisconsin Film Festival? Is that what you were
We
showing?
Yeah, we premiered at Wisconsin this year.
Okay.
So that we shot back in October of 23. And then it was a very quick turnaround in post. It was a relatively straightforward story, but we still turned it around pretty quick to hit some of those deadlines, like Wisconsin, that have an earlier, December, January-ish final deadline. And premiered at Wisconsin in April, and it had a really fantastic festival run. I think we played at 26 or 27 festivals
Oh my gosh.
internationally.
Wow.
Did really well locally. really well received. It was picked up on Film Shortage, is a platform that um, promotes short films from indie filmmakers, and they took it, and they were partnered with us for the release. So it's officially online now. Festival run is over. I think we're still waiting
Yeah.
on maybe a few yes or no's, but for the most part, that's it's finally done and behind me, which is awesome and sad at the same time.
Yeah, you got to let it go eventually. But
Yeah.
Cole, talk about, if you would, Film Shortage. Where can people? I've had so many filmmakers on the show who have done short films. When I do Q&As at the Wisconsin Film Festival, I see so many incredibly great short films. Where can people catch this platform? Because the other thing is too, like, sometimes people don't have time to sit down and watch an entire feature film, but they can watch a short that's 5 minutes long or 25 minutes long. Where can people see some of these short films, and yours included?
So Film Shortage is just one platform that gives voices to these independent filmmakers who just need a little bit more of a boost. There's so many different ones online. Sparkplug's going to be featured on Momitu, I think is how you pronounce it. I'd have to look that up, but that's another.
Okay.
It's a free streaming service online that just promotes independent film and finds filmmakers that they find interesting and want to put their stuff on their platform. Um, I don't think any of these are listed on your major televisions for an app you can download quite yet, so you'd have to find them on the internet. But it's the same as submitting to any film festival that you'd see. Just putting your work out there, and eventually one of these will stick. There's so many options out there for people to get their work seen, and film is so subjective that you got to try to spread your net as wide as you can to make sure people are seeing your stuff.
My guest is Cole Sheldon. He is a Wisconsin-based, Sheboygan-based filmmaker who is making short films. And do you have a feature in the works, Cole? Is that something you want to tackle at some point?
Down the line, eventually. I've been in the process of writing 2 or 3 of them. Trying to write within my means, write what I know. But you never know what story is going to inspire you. There's a Western that I've been working on for 3 or 4 years now that would be a very lofty budget. It would take quite a bit to make that film. There's another one that is focused on a hockey player that's dealing with head trauma and concussions and working through that, which is a little bit more of a personal story for me. So there's all sorts of options down the line as the resources grow and as I become more confident in my storytelling. But in the short term, it's putting out high quality short films that can showcase what I can do as a storyteller.
I've never raised money for a short before. Is that difficult? And like, I know you don't need the funds you do for a feature film, but when you're making a short, you still have to find money for it, and you still have to produce it and get it funded somehow, even if it's you using your own money or your credit card or whatever. How do you finance even a short film?
Right within your means is one of the biggest things that I can tell anybody. If you're writing this big sci-fi epic and you have $45 to put towards the film, you're not going to be able to make the film you want.
Right.
So early on, it really is just kind of focusing on very, not small stories, but intimate stories where you can, keep down on locations, 1 or 2 actors and really people can sink their teeth into a singular moment rather than stretch it out over the course of time. That saves you a lot of money there. But it is difficult to raise the money. I mean, it's not an investment that's going to make people their money back. A lot of film investors are looking at what ROI they can get, and am I going to, get points in the back end? Short films don't make money; they cost money.
Right.
So, you can crowdfund. That's it's a golden goose. It's hard to make that work, but if you have a subject matter that people are very invested in and very very passionate about, you might be able to get some people to donate that way. But a lot of times it's, like I said, that we have a collaborative community here. And I think that just means a lot of times people are kind of working on favors. It's, I'm happy to come grip for you if you're going to, if you'd like to come shoot my short, or I'll do sound on this if you'd like to do posts for me on this. And there's a lot of trading work and a lot of collaboration. And that's how you get it done to start and how you get people to believe in you. And once people believe in you, then the sky's the limit.
And it's so great too when people do want to help and just want to hold a boom mic, even though they've directed their own film, just because they want to be on a movie set and they want to be around that energy. It's so much fun. You talked about crowdsourcing, and I know you have a new film that you're working on too about a woman living with dementia called 5 More Minutes. Tell us about that a little bit. Where is that at in the production stages?
So we're really early in production right now, locking in the key team members, and the film is cast. So that film, hopefully we're going to launch that crowdfunding campaign coming up in January.
Okay.
So once we have things a little bit more ironed out, we'll get that out there for everybody to see. But that film, it's about the mind and memories of a woman living with dementia. So it's inspired by my grandfather. He's been living with dementia for nearly a decade now. And my stepdaughter, Sophia, she didn't come into the picture till he was about 2 years into that memory loss type, dementia. We're not entirely sure what to label what he has, but he's never really fully understood who she is, but they've formed this really strong bond regardless. And I think that's such a beautiful thing that, she has no blood relation to this man, and he has zero clue who she is, but they light up when they see each other. And over the years, he's gotten progressively worse. He's in a long-term care home now. And the last time we went to see him, it was rough. It was a hard visit, and he didn't look great. And he has these episodes where he almost, shuts down. His body kind of slumps over a little bit, and like he's recharging his battery almost. And Soph noticed that, and we got in the car, and she's kind of quiet. And finally she asked me, why is he doing that? And then where do you think he goes when that happens? And I'm like, what a profound question from a 9-year-old, right? I mean,
let's pick it up. Let's pick it up right there. We got to do a quick thing here. I'm talking to Cole Sheldon, Sheboygan-based filmmaker, and let's pick it up right where we were there. Cole, we'll be right back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Talking loud, but I don't see at all. I gotta get away, I don't know where to go.
Listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Dom Salvia Show.
Harvey Kaye, Professor Emeritus of Democracy at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Harvey, I know you're the big FDR expert.
In 1934, he decided that the inequality and the wealth accumulated at the top was a threat not only to the American economy, but also to the American democratic spirit, American democratic life.
Sounds like history's repeating itself.
The Dom Salvia Show. Weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app. The Todd Alba Show.
Tracy Olson, Senior Advisor at the Lincoln Project.
We as individuals need to be far better in terms of getting the tools we need to have the conversations. You're never going to shame someone out of their political beliefs.
Yes.
You're never going to get them with talking points.
You nailed it. And I think that's what some of our friends on the left don't get. And I think it's destructive and it's not beneficial.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Fear you may be missing out? We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. Enjoy listening live or catch up by finding the podcast at civicmedia.us or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and
Get up home, I wanna drive them home. When you're feeling blue,
We are back. Great to have you with me on this Friday night edition of Nightlight as we head into one of the coolest weekends, in my opinion, of the entire year. Short week coming up, a great holiday and Thanksgiving. We all have so much to be thankful for. Sometimes we don't even realize it. And it's great to be surrounded. And those of you who are lonely, reach out to somebody. This is a time of year to be with people if you can swing it. So hopefully we can keep you company here for another hour or so as we head into the weekend. Cole Sheldon, a local filmmaker, is my guest right now. Cole, you were in the middle of talking about your stepdaughter and your father.
My grandfather.
Your grandfather. Okay, so please pick up where you were. That was a really cool story.
So yeah, she had asked me kind of when he has these spouts or these episodes with his dementia where he kind of shuts down completely, where he goes. Where is he? And I thought that was a really phenomenal question, and one I didn't have the answer to in the moment. I had to think on it, and I was washing the dishes one day just randomly, and it hit me like, what if he just has this perfect day that he can fall back on? Like inside of him, there's this one memory that he can fall into, and he's safe and he's okay, right?
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And I thought that was a really comforting thought for Sophia. I didn't want to just tell her, well, there's probably nothing going on in Grandpa's head, and his body's catching up to, his brain is tired. And then the more I thought about it, the more I kind of internalized it for me, and it was really comforting for me too. And then I realized that there's probably millions of other people who are caring for someone with dementia or love somebody who's living with dementia, who need that little pick me up, who need that little spark of joy, not a spark of hope. You don't want to give people false hope and say they're going to be able to come back from this, because the reality is they aren't. But
Right.
to have the thought in your head that there is a place that they can go eat their favorite meal and, maybe play with their friends on a summer day and spend some time with their mom who they haven't seen in decades. It's a nice thought. So then I turned that into a script. At first I wanted it to be just for Soph, and then I realized I have to tell the story. So it's the story of this young girl who goes through this day, and throughout the day, she starts to realize that she can't be there. And there's hints dropped from her mom, and there's some fantasy elements to it that are really, they hark back to those films that inspired me. The Hooks, the Flubbers, the Jumanjis, these fantastic
yeah.
90s films that had that level of fantasy that blew me away when I was a kid. So there's a level of that. And then, she finally gets to have this little tender moment with her mom and comes back to her much older self. And you see a moment of memory, and then you kind of see that memory start to fade. So you see the reality of the situation. And, like I said, it was just something that was really comforting to me. And I
Yeah.
realized that could probably help a lot of other people too.
That's great. Well, I wish you luck with the project. You'll have to keep us posted. What is your favorite part of the filmmaking process? Writing, directing, post, shooting? What really gets you charged?
I'm an on-set guy. I think that's when I have my most energy. So when we're out there actually creating, we're taking this blueprint that we built and we're building something, right? And that's the hardest part about this is, if that's my favorite part, I'm doing that at most when I'm making short films 6 or 7 days a year. So you really cherish those moments when you're on set and you get to collaborate with these other artists, and you get to kind of see everybody put their strengths out there and watch something come together that you planned for so long. But I'm also, I just love the whole process. I love finding an idea and breaking that idea and finally getting it down to script, and the ones that are really, really tough that I have to drive around and listen to music that inspires me for weeks before I can even put pen to paper. And then finally something comes through. And then, hitting export on a final really tough edit and seeing it up on the big screen at the end of the day. It's a very rewarding process. There's it's weird because it's not a tangible result, but it is something that you feel and you can see, but you can't touch it, right? There's no physical product. And one of my favorite parts too is watching audience reactions. I've seen the film 1,000 times before it finally makes it to a theater, so I rarely actually watch the screen. I just love kind of looking around. I'll place myself in the back and I'll look for oohs and ahs, or I'll look for somebody kind of dabbing their eyes. I try to hit the tear jerkers as much as I can. So if I can get somebody pulling a Kleenex out, I know I've done my job well.
That's nice too, because you get so sick of watching it yourself, and you start to question if you even have anything anymore. And then to see it with an audience is really. We have about a minute left, Cole, and I appreciate your time. This has been really fun. Do you have a favorite sports movie, since you have a sports background? And are you looking forward to Glicked or Gladiator 2? Are you going to see either one of the films on the big screen?
Miracle is definitely my favorite.
Oh yeah,
movie.
great
I'm a big
one.
hockey guy. That one, every February I watch it, and every February I cry.
That's great.
It's a beautiful film, and I'm stoked for Wicked. I can't wait. My wife is such a huge fan. We listen to the music all the time. Been trying really hard not to listen to any of the music today. I want to see it in the theater for the first time, but Everything I've heard, the spectacle of that movie, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to see that in the theater.
I've heard that too, and I love the first Gladiator, but I kind of feel like I know what I'm going to see with Gladiator 2. I'm expecting to love it, but I'm with you. I can't wait to see Click It. And Conrad, if you haven't seen Miracle, you got to add that to your list. It's a great film.
Absolutely, you do.
Cole, this has been fun. Thank you, buddy. It's great getting to know
Thanks,
you,
Pete.
and don't be a stranger.
I won't. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, thanks, bud. Good luck
Have a good
with
one.
projects. All right, that's Cole Sheldon. Check out. I should have asked him, like, Google Sparkplug and see if you can see it. I think I remember seeing that at the Wisconsin Film Festival, and I see a lot of short films when I'm there, but that is kind of sticking out in my head. So I would love to, if Cole wants to email us or message me where we can specifically see Sparkplug, I would be happy to share that with people. Conrad, how we doing?
Doing great. Can't
Time to wrap up. Are we
what
done?
Do you mean? We still got another hour.
Oh, we do. Okay, my bad. All right. We are coming right back after award-winning news here at Civic Media. Text us your favorite teacher, folks, and why, and we will read it on the radio. Lisa Hale is coming up next.
Found myself phoning her at least 10 times a day. You know, it's so unusual for me to carry on this way. I tell you, I can't sleep at night.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us on Monday. We'll take a look back at what made news over the weekend and get you ready for Thanksgiving week. Tourist travel tips. Join us then.
The Todd Albaugh Show, weekdays noon till 2.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. More administration building for President-elect Trump. He's nominating billionaire Scott Bessent as Commerce Secretary. Bessent advised Trump on economic policy and was a frequent presence at Mar-a-Lago this week and last. The Supreme Court is allowing a multi-billion-dollar investor lawsuit against Meta.
Meta's already paid a $5 billion fine and reached a $725 million privacy settlement with Facebook users over their personal information being compromised by Cambridge Analytica, the firm that supported Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. But Meta investors say they were also hurt by the drop in Facebook's stock price after the scandal was disclosed. Meta tried to get the Supreme Court to shut down the lawsuit. Justices said they'd allow it to proceed.
ABC Sherry Preston. A federal jury in Minnesota convicted 2 men in the deaths of a migrant family that froze to death in a 2022 blizzard trying to cross the Canada-U.S. border. This is ABC News.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Thursday, the Green Bay Packers Foundation awarded grants to over 140 charitable organizations, nonprofits, and school districts in Northeast Wisconsin. Throughout the state, 398 nonprofits received a total of $1.5 million in grants. Chairman of the Green Bay Packers Foundation, Wilson Jones.
For over 100 years, the communities around the state have supported us. So it's a way of honoring that commitment.
To see a list of the recipients in Northeast Wisconsin, visit WGBW.FM. Over a month has passed since farmers in western Wisconsin were forced to give away chickens after a poultry producer went out of business. And now they're struggling to stay afloat. With more, here's Civic Media's Jimmy Kuska.
Fallout continues in western Wisconsin after a Minnesota poultry producer went bankrupt, leaving farmers in 3 states on the hook for hundreds of thousands of chickens with no money or food to take care of them. Now, barns sit empty and farmers are out of work. Congressman Derek Van Orden criticized the USDA for a lack of accountability and said his office hadn't heard from the agency about $50 million that it gave to the poultry producer a year and a half ago in the form of federal grants. State governments in Minnesota and Iowa stepped in and made farmers euthanize the birds, but here in Wisconsin, no law exists for this type of situation, so some farmers took to giving the chickens away instead. In Trumpelow County, that amounted to tens of thousands of free chickens, but also tens of thousands of dollars worth of feed, with no relief coming from either the state or federal government. The poultry barn owners said that they've been in contact with Van Orden and Senator Tammy Baldwin about the situation. For Civic Media News, I'm Jimmy Kuska.
Between Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa, nearly 50 farmers were affected and nearly 2 million chickens were killed or given away. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
Bucks basketball tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks host the Indiana Pacers tonight at Fiserv Forum. It's an NBA Cup game. The Bucks hoping to improve their record during this homestand. They're 6-9 right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
There's 67 games left. 67 games left. We're trending towards the right direction. We're winning at home, right? We've lost 1 game at home or 2 games. 2 games at home. It's good. It's not that bad. At the end of the day, we have a lot of season left.
College hoops, the Badgers men's team in Orlando to take on Central Florida. NFL, the Packers say that Jair Alexander has been dealing with a torn PCL in his right knee, suffered in a game 3 weeks ago. The Packers host the 49ers on Sunday. College football, the Badgers on the road to face Nebraska in their first game since firing offensive coordinator Phil Longo.
Regardless of who's actually calling the plays, the progression is how you continue to evolve the offense in particular for what best fits Wisconsin.
That's Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight to low in the low 30s. For tomorrow, early clouds give way to partial sunshine in the afternoon and a high in the low 40s. Mostly cloudy and a high in the mid 40s on Sunday. A chance of rain as we look into Monday. It's 46 right now.
Matt Nair on air.
And we are here with Matt Randolph, Mr. Global. Donald Trump now will be coming in for a second term. There has been talk of removing sanctions from Russia. What would that mean, Matt, for the oil and gas industry?
So it depends on what Russia does, but we've seen nothing to suggest that they want to have anything to do with lowering oil prices.
And so the prices are essentially going to stay the same?
In all likelihood, yes.
Matt Nair on air. Weekdays 10 till noon on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app.
On the next New Wisco Weekend, what makes you feel thankful? I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Good experiences and positive emotions. Gratitude is good for you.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who considers a silver medal a participation award, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back. This is hour number 2 of Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Your last Friday Nite Lite, your last bar band Friday night before Thanksgiving, which makes it a joyous evening. We've got nothing but fun stuff to look forward to for the next few days. This whole weekend is like a Thursday night as we get closer to Thanksgiving, with Thanksgiving being the Friday, even though it's on a Thursday. You follow my logic here, folks? Great to have you with me. Let me know who your favorite teacher is, folks, and why, if you so choose, at 855-752-4842, 855-755-CIVIC. That is our question of the night. And my previous guest, Cole Sheldon, the filmmaker, just shared the link to his film Sparkplug. So if Conrad can put that on the stream, we will. Otherwise, go to YouTube and Google Sparkplug False Take Films. And it's about a 12-minute movie. I think you'll enjoy it. Check it out. And right now, this is exciting. It is a Bar Band Friday night, but it's also sort of a new Wisco weekend Friday night because I have the host of this really fun Northeastern Wisconsin magazine show that plays every weekend here at WGBW and WISS. And her name is Lisa Hale. Hey, Lisa.
Hello. Hello. Is this working okay? Hello?
I'm just kidding. I was going to do a joke.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me because I had to set up my computer. It was in my backpack, and I'm like, I gotta get it all set up. Yeah.
Oh, that was mean. Then I'm sorry.
That was
I just thought
annoying.
I know you do news, and now you're a talk show host too. I figured you could handle it and laugh along with me. So it's great to have you, Lisa. How are you?
I am fine. How are you doing, Pete?
Doing very well. So we haven't talked in a while. Your
No, we
show
haven't.
is like a big hit, and tell us how much fun you're having doing New Wisco Weekend.
I'm telling you, New Wisco Weekend is probably the highlight of my week every week. And
Nice.
I say that as somebody who really, really loves her job. So, every day I go in and I go in really in a good mood and looking forward to the things I'm going to do. But on Thursdays, when I'm taking all the pieces, parts, and putting it together and getting the New Wisco ready for the weekend, that's when I really just enjoy it. Everything else just stops and I'm working on the show. So
Well, it must be nice too because you do such a great job with news for Northeast Wisconsin, Oshkosh, Green Bay, Appleton. But what you do on the weekends, New Wisco Weekend, is such a departure from news. I mean, it is news in a sense, but it's got to be kind of a little more laid back and a little more creative and fun, maybe.
It is. It is. We do have news. We have some interviews. We have long form features. And when I say long form, I'm talking between 2 minutes and 4 minutes long. So it's a more in-depth story than you would get on radio news normally. Normally, our stories run from 30 seconds to a minute and a half at the very longest. And these, you can go a little bit more into depth, but we do feature stories in that we highlight things that maybe people don't normally think about as news. For example, this week, Paul's Pantry is one of our feature stories. We've got holiday scams as one of our feature stories this week. So, and then we have a wonderful interview that Terry BARR did with a lady who found a way to be grateful every day in the most unique way with her Larry of the Pink Collar dog. So, there are it's just so much fun putting this together. We've got some wonderful contributors to this show. I say that as I'm talking to you now, Pete, but I look forward to your classic cinema pick of the week every week. And this week you hit it right on the head. I was sitting there before you even sent it to me. I'm going, please do Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Please do Planes, Trains. And you did. And I was like, yes, I got it right.
I think we were all thinking like that because I was like, when I first thought of what film I was going to recommend this weekend, that was the obvious one.
Mhm.
But then I thought, I started overthinking it. And then Conrad said, are you going to do Planes, Trains, and Automobiles this week? So he thought of it too. So the three of us it was kind of a no-brainer. I just had to do it. But it's such a fun film. And it's right along. I love that you do a theme every week. And I always try to find a film that kind of plays into that if I can. But that's one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't know about you.
It is. It's mine too. I mean, you cannot go wrong with John Candy anytime. So
it's like a perfect movie. It's like, it's got like tension, comedy, great music. It's paced well. The scenery's beautiful. It's just it's a perfect movie. And it's so great that it's a Thanksgiving film. And I love how in the film, the sentiment just kind of sneaks up on you all of a sudden. And then at the end, it's just John Candy's face and you want to bawl because it's such a beautiful moment, so I'm right there with you on John Candy.
Absolutely.
What are some of your favorite things you've done with New Wisco Weekend? Your favorite features or themes, however you want to do it, or interviews? What have you really enjoyed?
Oh, it's really hard for me to pick a favorite thing that I've done because for me, it's just a continuation of what I normally do, just a little bit more creative. I think my favorite thing for New Wisco Weekend has been bringing together this team. I mean, between you, we've got Amanda Nimmer who does a commentary piece. I consider her, and this is going to date me a little bit and show my age, but she's the Irma Bomback of Gen Z. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know, she's either our modern take on Andy Rooney or Irma Bombeck. So
That
and
is
that,
hilarious. I have not heard the name Irma Bombeck in
I
about
know,
30
right?
years. Life is a bowl of cherries. Why am I in the pits? Oh my
Exactly.
gosh. That's
Life on the
great.
other side of the grass is always greener on the other side of the septic tank was another one of hers.
Right.
So
That's
and
so
that
funny.
really does show my age because anybody who is younger than say 40 will have no idea who we're talking about.
I'm sure Conrad's Googling it right now. So there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So, all right. Well, that's a great answer. And then you've got Terry BARR, you've got Conrad doing sports. And I know that,
He doesn't just do sports. He does some features for us too and is doing a bang up job. I'm very proud of the progress of Conrad. And then of course Terry BARR, she's our lead correspondent and she helps me write the show and she is phenomenal. I could not do it without her because she and I take a switch off. We kind of go back and forth as to who does the cover story and who opens it does the feature open, you know.
right.
So, you know, on the weeks that I do the cover story, she opens the show. And on the weeks that she does the cover story, I have a feature that opens the show. And then she does every single week a musical piece that is just phenomenal. The things that she brings out, these musicians. This week, it's a 5-course menu of thankfulness. So she's got some
Oh,
great songs
nice.
she's bringing to us this week. It's amazing. I've got a great team.
She's got every week we've been doing this bar band Friday night. I mean, she's been coming on the show probably for 8 months. And I have found so much great new music just because of Terry that I don't really have when you get to a certain age, you just kind of rely on your go-tos from your past and maybe hear something from one of your kids that you like, but she has consistently brought great music every week and it's so much fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my guest is Lisa Hale. Check out her show. It's really all our show, but Lisa's our fearless leader on New Wisco Weekend. You can catch that every Saturday and Sunday here on Civic Media. And it airs right here on WGBW and WISS. That's the great thing I think about Civic Media is we have this like statewide network. We also have these great community. I just had Melissa Kay on the other night promoting her show, Community Stories, for Central Wisconsin. So it's just it's a nice thing to get in touch and stay in touch with your community, I think.
And Melissa Kay is also an occasional correspondent for New Wisco Weekend. She will give me features sometimes. So will Joanne Crulatz. So we've got people from throughout Wisconsin that bring us features to make it a little bit more Wisconsin and less New Wisco, but still we focus on these 12 counties.
Do you ever worry that some of these people that don't live in Northeast Wisconsin are trying to infiltrate our region and bring us down to make themselves look better? I'm just putting it out there. I have no proof.
No, I never worry about that.
Okay.
Honestly, that's
all right,
not
me
one of
either.
the things that keeps me awake.
So you do news as well. What if, since you've been doing news in Northeast Wisconsin, Lisa, has there been a story like this just sort of caught you off guard where you're like, oh, that's kind of different or that's kind of weird? Anything like that?
Actually, yeah, we just had it this week.
Oh, lay it on me.
The kayaker from Green Lake or the kayaker from Watertown who got lost in Green Lake. But
I didn't know about this. What happened?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So so there was this guy in August that took his kayak to Green Lake and never returned to the shore. So they've been looking for him, right? Come to find out, he faked his own disappearance and went to Uzbekistan, I think is where he went.
Gosh.
Yeah, went to a European country and
By canoe?
No. Well, he sunk his kayak, got on like a little kiddie thing that took him to the shore where he got on a e-bike and took the e-bike to Milwaukee where he got on a flight. And it's bizarre. I mean, totally bizarre. That one. And then earlier this week, I heard about a young man, a 9-year-old boy who called 911 because he needed math help in Shawano County. So, those are the kinds of stories that make me go, yep, this is why I do this.
Oh, that's great. It could have been an emergency. Maybe he was going to get grounded or something if he didn't pull a C or something. Who knows?
Decimals were always got me. So
exactly. Lisa, we have about a minute left. What are you looking forward to? Are you going to go see Glicked this weekend, Wicked or Gladiator 2, or you have something you're looking forward to watching?
Well, this weekend, I'm going to be busy with the holiday parade in Green Bay tomorrow morning.
I will see you there. Yeah.
Yes. And then I think we're at Spectre. We're still doing the James Bond weekends here.
Oh,
at the
you
house.
are? Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
We're almost to the end of them. So
wow. All right. Well, you got your dance cards full there with James Bond.
Let me tell you.
You could do a lot worse. Hey, that's so great. Congrats on the success of the show. Thanks for making me a part of it, and Conrad.
Absolutely.
And and have a great Thanksgiving. We'll catch up soon, I hope, after the holiday.
You too. Have a fantastic and grateful Thanksgiving.
Likewise, my friend. That's Lisa Hale. Check out New Wisco Weekend, Saturday and Sunday here on WGBW and WISS. A really fun show that will help keep you in touch with your community and make you feel proud to live here. This is Pete Schwaba. When we come back, Conrad, we're going to read texts. Talk about the Badgers men's team, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big win today.
They what?
Said big win today.
I thought they were still playing. Did they already play?
Yeah. It's over.
I'm a sports fan. All right. We are coming right back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight. Great to have you with me on this Friday night on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We will make it work out better.
To the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Maggie Dawn Show.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
The Dom Salvia Show.
State Senator-elect Jody Habish-Sinekin, what's the best way do you think it is to approach a difference in not just opinion, but in what we perceive as facts with those that may not be aware or don't agree with it?
First, having a conversation. Try to get an understanding of what is really bothering them and try to offer solutions at the state level or at the local level where there can be progress.
The Dom Salvia Show. Weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app. The Todd Alba Show.
Zommers, are you a Netflix and chill guy?
Do you know what Netflix and chill means?
I thought it just meant watch something on Netflix together.
You say that's what you're going to do, but you're really having them over there for sex.
This is why nobody wants to come to my place anymore. I say, hey, you want to come over and have Netflix and chill? People keep saying, well, no, I don't think so. I'll take it back. And I just thought they were being rude.
I do have Netflix, though.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's easy to listen to your favorite local radio station anytime. Download the Civic Media app from the Apple or Google Play Store, then listen live or
Well, she pressed her chest against me about the time the jukebox broke. Yeah, she gave me a peck on the back of the neck. And these are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country, build you a home.
John Prine was the first person, to my knowledge, that died during COVID, from COVID. That was so horrible. And not that he was putting out like a ton of new music when he got older, but he did have some really cool. The Lonesome Friends of Science is a great song, and he wrote that I think when he was much older. So that was a serious loss. Lisa Hale messaged us. Did you see her message comment?
I did. I was hoping you saw that.
I don't even get that. I'm off like a herd of turtles.
Well, they gotta.
What does that mean?
Isn't it like turtles give birth on the shore, and then the herd of turtles go and?
I don't know, but keep going. That sounds great. I don't know. I've heard off like a prom dress, off like a dirty shirt. I've never heard off like a herd of turtles. I'm sure there's something there that means something, and I'm just not educated enough to get that joke. But it sounds funny.
That's what I was gonna say. It sounds funny.
It sounds funny, and I don't. Maybe she just made it up, but I don't know. Lisa's so much fun to talk to. That was great. Check out New Wisco Weekend tomorrow and Sunday here on the network. Actually, not on the network, on WGBW and WISS. So we had Yao Asari was on the show last night, and he said he was watching Cross. So I went home last night and I watched the first episode, and it was good. I don't love it, but I think he said it starts slow, kind of like he thought Slow Horses started slow. No pun intended, but I'm going to stick with it. It's interesting. I like, serial killer stuff. This typically gets my attention. And I think it's Aldous Hodge. Am I saying that right? I think he's the lead actor. He's really good. I've liked him in just about everything I've seen him. So it is nice when you get a recommendation from a guest, someone who's been on the show or texted in a recommendation. Always fun to check out new shows. And I will tell you tonight, I'm going to watch the first episode of Jackal, The Day of the Jackal. Sorry. I have about 4 episodes left of Slow Horses, which I'm really enjoying. But I'm going to check out The Day of the Jackal tonight. I think my wife and I are going to watch that first episode. And then I might go back to Cross. We'll see. We've got some text coming in. Jim from Appleton. This is in regard to our interview with Cole. He says, for the little that it's worth, before my dad fell into unresponsive mental collapse, I asked him where he went when he glazed over. He said he went to a place where everything is perfect and nobody is sad. Wow. You hope that people go there, right? I mean, that's kind of what Cole was saying about his grandfather, that he hopes he goes to this place where it's just beautiful and he's just happy. So who knows where people with dementia do go, but that doesn't sound so bad if there is a place they can escape to. Thank you for sharing that, Jim. That's good to know. Steady Eddie checks in. He says, Pete, favorite teacher, Mrs. Taylor, 4th grade. It was Catholic school, but Mrs. Taylor was cool. Steady Eddie is indicating that Catholic school teachers can't be cool, the way you worded that, Steady Eddie. But I know what you meant. He says, Mrs. Taylor, 4th grade. It was Catholic school, but Mrs. Taylor was cool. It was the year of the Cuban Missile Crisis. And as I understand it now, the world came closer to nuclear Armageddon on October 27th, 1962. Sometimes I think each day after the world dodged that bullet is like Thanksgiving gravy on top of our mashed potatoes. Very well said, Steadfast Edward. That was awesome. And just a great way to count your blessings and be grateful, practice some gratitude. This is the time of year. Those are both great texts. Thank you, guys. If you want to get in on tonight's question, it is, who is your favorite teacher? And if you want to share a memory about them, that's good too. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. So tell me about, I can't even believe it's college basketball season or pro has started because I'm still watching football. So when you said college hoops, the Badgers are 6-0. I just didn't even believe you. I can't believe they're already 6 games into the season. And is that a false sense of?
So this is what I gotta say. As you can see on the stream, I'm wearing my Badger sweatshirt.
Yep.
And for about 3 weeks, it stayed in the closet because I was still on football. But now I get a good sense of hope from these Badgers basketball because I didn't know what to expect this season. But we got a good cast. I mean, Stephen Crowell's still on the team. He's a senior now. He's looking like he made some improvements from last year. But yeah, 6-0. We just beat Central Florida by like 20 points, which that team was also they were 4-0, I believe. And
how was that game that already happened today?
Yeah, but college basketball sometimes plays, earlier in the day.
Okay.
You never know what time. You got to look if before the week starts. Like, all right, what time do the Badgers play this week? Because you never know. So yeah, but we beat Arizona, which they were one of the top ranked teams. We weren't even ranked then. Now we're ranked 19th. So it all comes down to the conference play, and we haven't played a conference team yet. So
yeah, I feel like every year the Badgers get like a kind of a signature win, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of disappoint me. Like they just don't either have the athleticism. No, they get into the tournament, but I just don't know if they have the horses. You know what I mean? Like they're very well coached, they're disciplined, but at the end of the day, you just need athletes too, right?
Yeah, I think we got some athletes this year.
Think so?
Against Arizona, I can't remember. Okay, so yes, we have a John. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm sure Mike Clemens could help us with that, but he scored.
Let's not bother Mike with that tonight.
No, I'm just saying he could help next time. But yeah, he scored 41 points against Arizona, and you don't really see it.
Wow,
a basketball player in college score 41, or even a Badger score 41 points.
Yeah, right. My brother,
and he's been looking good.
And I were just talking about the Bennetts and how Tony Bennett just retired. Well, not just retired, but was it last year, I think, or the year before? Right after winning, like, I wish he would come back and coach at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Not that I want Greg Gard to push him out the door or anything, but like the Bennetts should be in Wisconsin coaching basketball.
Yes.
He won a national championship in Virginia after being the first 16th seed to lose. I'm sorry, the first number 1 seed to lose to a 16th. To come back and win the championship, it takes major chutzpah. All right, it is a Bar Band Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to move this conversation to music after your award-winning news team here at Civic Media keeps you informed. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From De Pere to Swamico, 97.9 WGBW. Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Wisconsin's 9-day gun deer season opens tomorrow. Here's Derek Tritz.
This year, hunters have some advantages, according to State Deer Program Specialist Jeff Pritzel.
The mild winter that we experienced last year. And what that means to the deer herd, this year is higher fawn productivity, higher fawn survival from the previous year. And so that means, more deer on the landscape to a certain degree. And also as it relates to bucks, their antler development will be a little bit better this year because they came out of the winter in such good physical shape. That means they can devote a little bit more energy to antler development. So we should see above average antler development. That'll be nice to see.
As per usual, hunters should be on the lookout for chronic wasting disease, or CWD for short. With more information, here's DNR herd health specialist Aaron Larson.
So CWD sampling is still available statewide. Anywhere that a hunter harvests a deer in the state, they can get it submitted for CWD sampling for free. However, we do have priority areas this fall that we are especially interested in receiving samples from. So these are around newer detections of wild or farm-raised captive positive detections that are in portions of central and northern Wisconsin.
Hunters should also be on the lookout for elk, as elk populations in Wisconsin have increased. It isn't uncommon for elk to be misidentified as white-tailed deer during the season, but the DNR wants to keep the elk population intact. Safety is always a priority during hunting season, and last year there were no fatalities. Still, hunters should remember gun safety fundamentals and to wear their blaze orange. Additional hunter safety information can be found on the Wisconsin DNR's website.
I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. If the Academy Awards have any meaning at all, they will nominate Denis Villeneuve for Best Director for Dune 2. Those are the words of actor Josh Brolin, who seems serious, adding he might quit acting altogether if his friend is not nominated for Best Director. Yeah, me too. The first Dune received 10 Oscar nominations in 2022, but not for Best Director, which obviously does not sit well with the No Country for Old Men actor. Thespians do tend to be a bit dramatic, but I hope Brolin doesn't quit acting. He's pretty good at it. Those of you who are shower indifferent, love camping in mud, and would like a shot at a serious injury might be interested to know that headliners for 2025's Coachella have been announced. Lady Gaga, Green Day, Post Malone, and Travis Scott will perform, and there will be an appearance by Yo Gabba Gabba. Can't hardly wait to not attend. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight to low in the low 30s. For tomorrow, early clouds give way to partial sunshine in the afternoon and a high in the low 40s. Mostly cloudy and a high in the mid-40s on Sunday. A chance of rain as we look into Monday. Currently, it's 44 degrees.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Iron Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, the YouTuber. They're likely, this is just me wildly speculating, might have been a wee bit of a gentleman's agreement. Try to make it look good, but nobody's actually going to try to knock anybody out.
I actually put a bet on that, and I bet it for Jake Paul to win, just because I knew it was staged. Mike Tyson was going to do what he's going to do. Clearly obvious he could have knocked him out. He just didn't want to do it.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app. The Todd Alba Show.
Tracy Olson, senior advisor at the Lincoln Project. We as individuals need to be far better in terms of getting the tools we need to have the conversations. You're never going to shame someone out of their political beliefs.
Yes.
You're never going to get
Yes.
them with talking points.
You nailed it. And I think that that's what some of our friends on the left don't get. And I think it's destructive and it's not beneficial.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Dom Selvia.
Next time, former Wisconsin gubernatorial candidate Tim Michaels turns down a Trump cabinet position. Is he lazy or just against divesting? Also, MTG claims.
Time to check out original music with BARR Band Friday on Nightlight. Now, your host, Pete Schwaba, and special guest, Terry BARR.
It's that special time of the week, ladies and gentlemen. One of our favorite moments in the entire week here at Nightlight, because we get to welcome our friend and one of the hosts of Max Inc. Radio to Nightlight, who brings us new music and sparkling conversation. Terry BARR. Terry, welcome.
Hey, Pete. Hey, Conrad. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday to you.
Happy indeed. Am I wrong, or is this like the Friday before Thanksgiving? It's like you got this weekend, then a short week, and then a great holiday.
Yeah.
It's just that you can't beat it, right?
I feel that right now. Yes. In fact, Conrad and I were talking about that too. Just kind of get through the next few days and then hopefully time to relax for a couple of days.
Absolutely. And nobody could use a break, I'm sure, more than you. You do so much here. We were just talking about your contributions to New Wisco Weekend. And everything you do for the network and this and Max Inc. I mean, when do you sleep, my friend?
I'll sleep very well tonight, I think.
I hope so.
Me too, Pete.
Well, it's great to have you here. You have two fantastic artists you've shared with us again. Who should we start with, Terry?
I think after discussing with Conrad, let's go with Mackenzie O'Brien first.
Okay.
She's a little bit older in the two women that I sent to you today. She's all of 25 years old.
Oh, getting up there.
I know. Her album that she is out on tour supporting right now is called A Quarter Life Crisis.
Oh, I love that.
I did too. I kind of dig that. And here's what's really fun. She's from Chicago, but when she records, she always goes to Nashville. She has a team that she writes with there.
Oh.
But the band that she tours with, she has been playing with these 3 or 4 other gentlemen for like 10 years. So they're solid. They've got a good history already in what they're doing, where they're going. She is playing at a place called Whiskey Jack's. That is in downtown Madison tomorrow night. Her show's at 9:30. Yep. And then she's going to have another show at Whiskey Jack's on Saturday, February 8th. So if you like what you hear, put that on your schedule. Otherwise, she plays all around the Chicago area. She even has a show coming up at Hard Rock Cafe, the new one in Rockford. That one is in January.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We talked about that recently with your friends that Cheap Trick opened that up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they are getting some great music to come in, and I was really pleasantly surprised to see her on the list of one of the upcoming artists playing there. The venue's awesome, brand new, really nice. We're going to learn all about her tomorrow night because she is going to walk over to visit us in studio before the show. So I think that's going to be really fun to be able to talk with her. Yeah.
Absolutely. Should we all right, so tell us about the song, and then I've got questions. Is she's from Chicago, or what are her ties to Wisconsin? Just that she plays here a lot?
She plays here often.
Okay.
Yes. And she has this new music. So Rocker is my co-host on Max Inc. Radio. He found out she was going to be doing a show here again this weekend. And he then reached out to her and said, hey, come on over to the radio station and tell us all about what you're up to. And so she's on this tour in support of a new album. And she's already started writing her next album for next year.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Speaking of when does someone sleep, apparently she does not.
This is so cool. It says she has credits, her song placements. She's had songs placed in hit shows from Yellowstone to Everybody Loves Raymond. And she's 25? How long has she been at this?
She's been at this since she was a teen.
Wow, that's impressive. Very impressive.
Yep, and sometimes, you're in the right place at the right time. She met some of the right people in Chicago that then hooked her up with people in Nashville. But I love that she still comes back to Chicago. She calls it her home and does tons of shows all around the area.
That's so great. And it's so exciting you guys have her tomorrow night. So, all right, let's hear.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so this first song is called Sugar Daddy Issues. Am I getting that right?
That is right. She has sugar daddy issues from her quarter life crisis album.
She's an old soul. All right,
she is.
Let's hear Mackenzie O'Brien. This is Sugar Daddy Issues here on Bar Band Friday night on Nightlight.
Sleepy Joe slid into my DMs in between R. Kelly and Clinton. And I ain't saying which one of them gives me the most of that sugar. Nickelback, Nick Cage, they all spend like De Niro. They roll on that Venmo, hola, mi dinero, and I just can't get them to stop turning that old money into that new money. I got silver fox, sweet pop, sitting up my TikTok. I don't wanna drop on my honey, but it's funny, sunny, there ain't enough money. I'm a highness, priceless, got diamonds dripping off the soles of my shoes. Sugar daddy issues. Slip into my fuzzy bunny onesie. Get funky for my role-playing junkies. I'll crunch on a bunch of munchies. Holla to my ASMR. I paint my toesies rosy, so slowly working that twerking from home for my homies. Love my fans only all over the country. A porn star wherever you are. Turning that old money into that new money. I got silver clock, sweet pop, sitting up my TikTok. I don't wanna drop on my honey, but it's funny, sunny, there ain't enough money. I'm a highness, priceless, got diamonds dripping off the soles of my shoes. daddy issues.
Oh, that's great. I'm blushing.
Oh,
Is
my
that the normal response to a grown man to be blushing after he hears that song?
Good for you, Pete.
I am not sure a 25-year-old should be singing about such things, Terry.
Well, again, the name of the album is A Quarter Life Crisis. So
that's
you
true.
said she's got an old soul, and obviously she does, because almost all of her music is sort of in this vein of singing about very adult type material,
Yeah.
but, that we can all enjoy and sing along to.
No, that's great. Great lyrics. And it almost like she's obviously sounds country to me, but there's like another element there I can't place. It's like slight bit of hip hop, maybe almost.
Yeah, I don't know if you get to listen to a lot of country music. A lot of the country artists have added in this kind of style to their music. And it's just a trend right now, I think, with country music. And so, somebody does it and has success, so more people copy that. And I don't know if that's kind of her idea with this song. She pulls it off.
Oh,
but
yeah.
she says for her new album, she's going more Southern rock Americana.
Okay. Like
So
what is
we'll
that,
see
Leonard
what that
Skinner
sounds
maybe,
like.
or?
Yeah, I don't know. She writes her stuff, though. Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Well, you guys are going to have a blast tomorrow night. She sounds like a great
I
guest.
think
And
so.
it's exciting getting someone when they're still kind of up and coming, right?
Oh, absolutely. And knowing that, she's got a show happening at 9:30 tomorrow night, but she's still going to take time to walk over after they do their warm-up and tell us all about what she's up to. I'm looking forward to just finding out more about her as a person.
It sounds like a great interview. That's tomorrow night on Max Inc. Radio. Check it out with Terry and Rocker. Okay, so should we turn to Paige? Am I saying her last name? Is it Kleber?
Yeah, Paige Kleber. Kleber in German means glue. So you gotta love this. She already has her fan club called the Glue Sticks.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. What do you think? Should we play the song and then talk
Yeah.
about her? Because I don't know that I want to give too much away until after you hear the song.
I love that. Let's hear the song, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. This is Playing Hard to Get, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is by way of Terry BARR, Paige Kleber, and Playing Hard to Get. Then we will come back and break it down, ladies and gentlemen, on Bar Band Friday night.
You have a big party at your house where everybody screams and shouts. You act so cool 'cause you're on the team, but really you're just plain mean. Let's face it, have you ever talked to me since first grade?
That is a really nice, cute song. And I say that, I use those adjectives, Terry. Tell us more. I think people are going to be surprised. Tell us more about Paige.
Well, we are describing her and bragging about her, saying we have found our own Taylor Swift.
Oh, nice.
Paige Kleber, the young lady you just heard with that wonderful song, is 11 years old.
How crazy is that? Hey, Terry, let's pick it up. We got to do a very quick thing. Let's pick it up right there when we come back,
You
okay?
got it.
All
You
right,
got
this is
it.
Night Light with Pete Schwaba on a Bar Band Friday night. We are coming right back.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Matt and Air on Air.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Active Liver is available in both a delicious gummy or tablet. You can find Active Liver in stores at CVS or Meijer or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy with your Work Money Minute. Today I've got some wonky terminology, so bear with me. I'm talking about credit utilization and how that affects your credit score. Credit utilization just means how much of your credit you're using. So let's say you have a $10,000 limit on your credit card. Now, lots of us think it's okay to spend up to that $10,000 every month as long as you pay it off in full at the end of the month. Well, it turns out the credit bureaus, these agencies that assign us our credit scores, they only want us to use maybe 10, 20, or maximum 30% of our credit limit each month. Like $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 tops if you've got $10,000 in credit. And your credit utilization counts for 30% of your total credit score. I don't love the rules, but knowing them helps us manage our credit scores the way we want to. For more about credit scores or just about getting good at money,
So, all right, Steady Eddie, he's no longer Steadfast Edward. He is providing clarification on Lisa's off like a herd of turtles. Maybe Terry Barr has heard of this. He says, Pete, possible explanation to off like a herd of turtles. Sometimes when a bunch of baby turtles hatch at the same time on the beach, they all make a mad dash for the relative safety of the ocean, avoiding angry birds and other predators. They are off like a herd of turtles. Steady, I watch nature on PBS, Eddie. Okay. Well, I'm glad we have clarification. Conrad, you kind of hinted that that's what you thought it might mean too, right?
He said it better though.
Yeah, he did. That was very well done. So Terry, maybe we just taught you something for a change. That would make me feel good that we've given back. But you bring us great music every week. Tell us about, all right, Paige Kleber, 11 years old. How do you even write a song at that age, much less get it produced and get it out there?
She started a few years ago by going to open mics and doing, some cover songs. She'd get up with a lot of the places around the Madison area have bands that actually play some of these open mics. So she was already getting up and singing with a real band, but it wasn't her own music. Okay. So her mom gets the idea oh, let's send her to Girls Rock Camp. And for the girls, it's a week-long camp where they basically form a band, write a song, and at the end of the week get up and perform it for a great big audience. She loved it so much, she started writing and recording her own songs. And now what do you do as a parent? Now you got to support this even more because you're the one who put her in this camp to learn how to do this. Yep. So she now has an entire album that she just released. She is going to be live in the Lair on our Max Inc. radio music show tomorrow night from 9 to 10. We had to make sure that she could be up late.
Right.
But she's good. She can fill an hour. She has enough music and enough stories to tell us for an entire hour.
That is really cool. It's funny when you sent this earlier, I looked at her website, or I just Googled and I went to the website. I just kind of glanced and I clicked on about. That's usually the first place I go. And one of her quotes is, "It's fun to play music alone in your room, but even more fun when you bring those songs in front of people who get it too."
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes.
Fun to play in your room. What the heck? And then I went back and looked at the picture. I'm like, how old is this kid? Like she's like a 5th or 6th grader. That's insane.
Well, and if you dive further into her website and look at the events, she's booked. She's playing open mics where she's actually getting to sing her own original music. She's got 2 concerts coming up in January. She's got some other things that she's playing in December. And she's doing, now this can't be easy, but she's doing the national anthem in Verona for both the boys' basketball game and the girls' basketball game. Now that would frighten me to death because that's a hard audience.
Yeah, and it's not, and she's kind of doing more poppy tunes. Like that's not an easy song, or maybe it is. I don't know, but that seems like kind of a departure. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for her though, not to be afraid of it.
That's really cool. And then it looks like she's going to be at the Madison Area Music, or maybe that's already in the past. I'm looking ahead to next year, but she seems like, yeah, these are the ones that are knocked off her calendar that I guess she's already done. That's really cool stuff, though.
Yeah, she just starred, now this is also done, but at Verona Middle School, which just blows me away to even say that she's in middle school. She was the star of the SpongeBob SquarePants play that they just did, the musical.
Oh, that's so great. Well, Verona, isn't that where Butch Vig is from, too? Maybe she'll get discovered there, or maybe it's Viroqua. I can't remember.
Oh, you're close. It's a V, but it's Viroqua.
Viroqua, okay. Well, he could be on a road trip.
That was a good try right off the top of your head. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get her famous, just trying to help her out by way of you. So there you go.
Well, and when you think about how Taylor Swift started out, very similar path, but then her parents moved her to Nashville. So I don't know what will happen with Paige, but I'm hoping her mom will be there so we can, kind of dig into a little bit of now what's the parent impact here?
Right. Well, either way, everybody can listen tomorrow night on Live in the Lair, and the album has 5 songs on it. I'm guessing you can get through a substantial, maybe all of them tomorrow night, and that would be a fantastic listen tomorrow night. So check out Max Inc. Radio here on Civic Media. Terry, thank you so much for all you do for this show and for Bar Band Friday night. Always fun, my friend.
Thank you. Grateful for you, Conrad, and all of your listeners. Thanks for being here, and I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday next week.
Back at you, my friend. All right. Thanks so much, Terry Barr. We are thankful for you as well. And Conrad, I think I'm more thankful for Terry than you. I'm not trying to start a competition here, but, you kind of just sit there. Oh, I guess I am the host. Okay, I have to talk more. Great stuff, though. That was, I couldn't believe it. I went to the website. I'm like, how old is this? Like, she kind of sounds young, but you're like, oh, nobody that young could write a song like that. But that's great. Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Thomas will be here. We will break down Glicked Weekend, which starts today. Wicked and Gladiator 2. Go see both movies if you can. Let us know your thoughts on Monday. We'd love to hear it. Rob will be here to help break it down. And Jeff Pfeiffer, the producer of a show on PBS called Wisconsin Lighthouses, will be here to talk about that special that is coming up on PBS. So I thought it sounded really cool. I actually saw that it was even a thing from Todd Michaels, posted it on Facebook, and I thought, oh, that'd be fun to talk about on the air because lighthouses are Pretty cool. And it'll be nice, Conrad, to talk about lighthouses when they're not haunted. Like that's usually when lighthouses come up on the show, is some kind of haunting. But anyway, great to have you with me, everybody, tonight. This was fun. I hope you have a great weekend before Thanksgiving. I'd like to thank Cole Sheldon, Lisa Hale, Terry Barr, and thank you for all your texts. And thank you, teachers, and those who dedicate their lives to inspiring and helping kids. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad. We'll see you Monday. Good night, Wisconsin.
I'll take you to your best friend's house, Mama.